crazy to think that we only have 2 more months left in this year. Hello everybody, my name is Jesse and welcome to my channel. We are officially in November, so today I'm going to give you my top 5 favorite movies that I watched in the month of October 2024. Starting at number 5, I have Conclave. This is actually a new release that just came out this month, and I didn't really have a lot of expectations for this movie actually, and it ended up being a really pleasant surprise. I knew I would probably enjoy it because I love the cast: Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and I really enjoyed this movie. I actually did a really fast review on it. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check it out, but I loved this movie. It might be one of my favorites of the year. We'll have to see how the rest we'll have to see how the rest of the year turns out, but I did really enjoy this one. I loved it more than I expected to. The script is amazing. It's super well written. The score is great. It's just adds so much to every scene. I thought the cinematography was fantastic, and again, they were just able to do so much with even just the little space that they had. And the acting, like I said, is amazing. I loved every single performance. I think Ralph Fiennes should get nominated for Best Actor, if not win. So this was a fantastic watch that I highly recommend. Number 4, I have We Live in Time, another new release. I was actually able to see this about 2 weeks early at the beginning of the month, and so I've had quite a lot of time to sit on it now. And the more I think about this movie, the more I fall in love with it. I have it at a 4.5 out of 5 right now, and I'm not kidding when I say I am this close to bumping up to that 5 out of 5. I adore this movie. It truly takes you on a full range of emotions: happiness, sadness. There were several emotional moments throughout the movie. The acting is fantastic from both Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield. The music, again, is great. I don't know if it's really one of the best scores of the year or anything like that, but it truly does add so much to even the smallest of scenes in this film. And I love the fact that they chose to do the non-linear storytelling method. In my opinion, you start off with them already together, already a little bit into this relationship, and then it tracks back to the beginning, and you see the first month or so of them together, and it jumps back and forth between the two timelines pretty well, I think. And just there are so many things in this movie that add to the emotion, that add to the tension, and I think most of what does work in this movie is the chemistry between Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield. Their relationship is off the charts. I loved them, and you just are rooting for them the entire time. This is also a movie that I did a review on. Again, I'll leave the link in the description, and I think this will end up being one of my favorites of this entire year. Number 3, I have Babylon. This was the only Damien Chazelle movie that I had yet to see, and I absolutely loved it. I love Damien Chazelle as a director. He is one of my favorite directors. Whiplash and La La Land are 2 of my favorite movies of all time, so I knew I was going to enjoy this movie, and I absolutely loved it. It's not my favorite of his, but I do think he did a phenomenal job. I love the story that they told with just Hollywood trying to make the transition from silent films to sound, and just how complicated that was for everyone from the actors to the directors, and just the problems that they had at the beginning. They weren't used to not making sound other than in the film. So there's one particular scene that I loved where Margot Robbie's character is doing a scene for a movie, and they're trying to make it sound, and she has to do like 50 takes of the same scene because she keeps messing up, and people keep making sound in the background, and there's so much tension and so much drama surrounding it that you're locked in from the beginning to end with this movie. All the performances are amazing. Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. Diego Calva was actually a big standout for me. I don't remember his character's name, but he was fantastic. And so I just absolutely loved this movie. It is wild, it's chaotic, it is grand in scale, and I just love how they showed the kind of messy and over-the-top kind of lifestyles that some of these actors had. Number 2 for me is Avatar. I absolutely love this movie. I always have. I remember this being one of my favorite movies ever since I was a little kid. And despite its long runtime, I've seen it quite a few times. The long runtime, like 2 hours and 40 minutes, has never been a big issue with me. I've always loved this movie. It flies by, in my opinion, and I just think, obviously, the selling point of this movie is the visual effects and the world building of Pandora. And for me, it is amazing every single time. I love entering this new world with different creatures and just learning the culture of the Na'vi, I think, is amazing. Both performances from Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana are fantastic, and I cannot wait to revisit Pandora again next year in Avatar 3. But coming in number 1 for me, the best movie that I watched in the month of October 2024 is Top Gun Maverick. I absolutely love this movie. I think it is just out of this world. A sequel that is 10 times better than the original. It is bigger in its action and its stakes, and it's just far more entertaining in my opinion. Tom Cruise, as always, gives it his all. He gives a fantastic performance and doing all these crazy stunts himself, as he always does. I think it's fantastic and wildly entertaining to watch. And this is just a perfect legacy sequel done right, in my opinion. It makes subtle callbacks to the first movie, and it does take elements from the first movie into account and relationships with certain characters from the first movie, while also giving us its own story and its own personal stakes. And I just absolutely love it. All of the plane flying is amazing. The dialogue is witty and just perfectly written, I think, and it just makes this movie fly by. No pun intended. So there you have it. Those are the top 5 best movies I watched in the month of October 2024. What are your favorite movies that you watched last month? Let me know down in the comments below. Check out my reviews on Conclave and We Live in Time. And until my next video like this one, subscribe to my channel, help me reach my goal of 350 subscribers, and keep watching movies.